It's time for another episode of In the Black, and I am Janelle Jones, and this is my co host.
Hi y'all, I'm Trio.
And guys, it's time to have some fun because we're going to have an interesting conversation today. Trio, how are you doing?
Listen, I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling real lit. This week has been definitely doing what it was doing, but definitely happy that it is a Wednesday. Happy to be here recording because this is the highlight of the week for me. And so, yeah, I'm feeling well. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like you said, life has been lifing. It is Wednesday. We record on Wednesdays, guys. It just is our time to come together and laugh, and we have fun doing In the Black. We're having a good time. I hope you guys are enjoying this with us.
And can we just give it up for us? A little round of applause for us being able to stay consistent. Like, I am digging this consistency. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. As entrepreneurs, we struggle. I think I can say we when I talk about this with shiny object syndrome, SOS, I call it. So maybe we have a slight case of ADHD, but we come up with an idea and like, ooh, let's do that. Ooh, let's do that. And that has not been the case in this first quarter of 2025 that we are recording. We are staying very focused on our business goals and what we plan to do for this year. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, and can y'all see the gear real quick? Look at the gears. Shout out to Janelle. Like, yes, we're getting this t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? And it came in on time for this session, so we doing good. Let's get into
I
this.
was a little nervous about that. I kept checking the track. I'm like, is it going to come up by Wednesday? And it came right on time.
Sure
Everything
did.
comes right on time, right? Isn't that
Oh, that's
the
a
case?
bar. Period.
Mm-hmm. So today we're going to be talking about success. How do we define success? What failure actually means, and kind of how to just go with the flow and embrace those things and how they work together. Um, I think the first thing I want to talk about this is how you define success, Triel. What is it that you use as a measuring point for success?
A measuring point for me for success, especially like when I'm serving a client, is their reaction. Right?
Mm.
Like I'm a sucker for the reaction and the responses. Like I live for the moment of like, oh my gosh, like I could just kind of just gauge how successful I have been in hearing their vision and bringing that to life. So I am a sucker for a reaction again, and so that's one way that I measure success. And another way that I measure success is just strictly in the data. How is it performing? How are things doing? Is it hitting the mark? Are we in the green or are we in the red? Are we in the black? So that's how.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. For mine, I feel like a bit my business is a part of me. So I'm like, am I hitting my goals on all levels? Do I feel, they have that circle that you divide up your life into different aspects and you kind of
Yeah.
shade, the different how high you are. So if I'm all the way fulfilled, then I'm being successful in my life
Mm-hmm.
and in my business because my business is very interwoven into my life. But on the other side of it, I was a while ago, I had a job interview, and one of the metrics that they were interviewing me for was brand love. And I kind of took that into my business. I won't
I
say who,
love
it's a
it.
big company.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't say who the company was, but I didn't take the job. But anyway, so, um, but that was one of the metrics was brand love. And as I grow my business, that has become one of the biggest metrics for me is brand love. If somebody is sharing my company, if somebody is loving on me, like, oh my God, you changed my life. Can I give you this testimonial? I'm getting a lot of my brand love meter is through the roof. It's up there.
Mm.
So I'm successful because that's what this is about. This is about helping other people. For me, my business is about helping other people. So if the brand love is up there, then I'm successful.
I love that. When you mentioned the pie or the wheel in brand therapy, I call that the wheel of well-being, and then the
Mhm.
crust of the pizza would be like what I call the hierarchy of creative needs. So y'all know if y'all not familiar with the Maslow, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is physiological security, safety and security, love and belonging, self esteem, and then actualization. And so I just use that same kind of metric and make it creatively. Like, what do we need physiologically? Like, what makes a creative breathe? What makes a brand breathe? So on and so forth. And so that's how I call it like the wheel the wheel of well-being, the pizza. So like when you mentioned that, I use it in brand therapy as well. So I love that you said that, and I'm going to check my wheel today after this call. Period.
Yes, yes. I like to do it like every 3 months. I'll just sit down and have a day. And that's part of self care for me is to check in on myself. Like, how am I doing? Did I reach my goals? So I think I'm actually pretty overdue for a check in with myself to see how my wheel is doing. I might do that as well. Maybe not today, but in a couple of days, check in on myself and see how I'm doing. Um, so I want to talk about because when you're in business, we make a lot of mistakes. We talked about that on the last episode,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to talk about the mistakes that we made, but how can we embrace them, embrace the mistakes that we make, and then turn them and translate them into successes. So, how do you handle your failures, Trio?
Well, now I can say now that I have a therapist, shout out to my therapist. Hey, woo, woo. I bring that to my therapist, and one of the things that I was looking for when finding my therapist was someone who has business acumen. So I wanted to talk to the founders of the company, not like a those who work with them, the employers or
Mm-hmm.
contractors or whatever. So I started like talking it out with my therapist and just identifying what is personal, like what am I feeling emotionally, and let's like work through that, and then how we can build a better system so that we don't have that mistake again. I don't think it's necessarily a failure. I just think it's like a learning experience. So what did I learn, and how can I convert that into positive energy to continue to build the system that I'm building, which is my business? So that's a really good question. So I'm gonna ask you the same thing.
Um, so I consider failure stepping stones.
I
Right?
like
I
that.
don't, yes, I consider them stepping stones. I don't consider them failures. Simply because everything that I've been through in my life, it has been a learning situation. I think you and I've had several conversations like, and I've told you I've been through that. And if I have not been through something, I'm not going to comment on it. I'm like, I can't understand how you feel because I haven't been through that. But when you and I speak, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been through that same scenario. This was what happened to me.
Yes. It's like almost like side note, y'all. Like when I'm talking to Janelle, I'm just like, yo, you feel me? She's like, no, yep, I understand. Let me just provide some context. No worries. Like,
So it's a side note to the side note. Trio told me the other day that she had got a new journal. I was like, okay, girl, you got you a new journal.
yes.
And she was like, on the last page in the back, I have a list of your sayings. I did not realize I had a whole bunch of
Listen,
sayings.
let me just give y'all a few, and I'm pretty sure y'all gonna be like, yep, I sure did hear that in the previous episode. One of the things when I'm talking to Janelle, she be like, child, like, child, like, or no worries. Like if I'm talking to her or whatever, and I'm like maybe on a high or whatever, she's like, oh, no worries, no worries, no worries. Like, and I'm just like, okay, no worries. And then the other one is oh wait, I just had a brain for it. Per usual. Per
Per
usual.
usual.
Per
Hmm.
usual. And I just like so I just started keeping a list in my journal with all her sayings and so on and so forth. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But no, seriously, I use my experiences as a way to be able to how do I mold my narrative, right? Because I
Let's
can
talk
step
about it.
into I can step into any environment and I feel like I have a talking point in just about any environment that I go to because I've had so many failures. So because I've had so many stepping stones,
Mm-hmm.
I can speak to any type of just about any type of situation. Um, I think the only thing I'm thinking right now that the only scenario that I don't know that I'm interested in knowing more about is the rodeo and horse racing. Those are the only two scenarios that I think I can't speak on because I've never been before.
Okay.
I'm going to add that to my list of things I want to do. But just about any topic, I can speak on those topics because I've had some type of experience with those type of topics before.
And can I just add just a little bit more seasoning to that? Another thing about Janelle, I think y'all need to know is that she is a well-traveled individual. We were just having a conversation the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I was handling this and that," and I said this, and she was like, "Yeah, I was in Paris, like by the Eiffel Tower," and I'm just like, "Come on, light flex, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing handling business
And
in
I
Paris,
promise
you
I
know?"
was not. I was telling a story. I
Yes,
was
but that's what
literally
I'm
telling a
saying.
story.
Like she comes with such a depth of experiences and wisdom, and like if she call those her stepping stones, let me tell you, these stepping stones are boulders to other people's life. Like I'll speak for myself. Her experience adds so much value to where I am, even if it's on a smaller scale or a smaller level or a larger level. She has some type of advice, and it's always good. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, just to add a
Aw,
little more
thank
seasoning
you.
to that.
Thank you, thank you.
For sure.
Um, so how does that help you guys, right? I think this session is mostly about a mindset shift. Shifting our mindset to realize that we are no longer calling failures failures. We are now calling them stepping stones.
Yeah.
So taking a second and figuring out what you can learn from that stepping stone as you're stepping. And I know while you're in it, while it's happening, you're like, oh my God, I lost $40,000. Oh my God, my life is falling. It's a lot. It's hard to be like, what am I learning from this? It's hard. But just, I'm not saying that you have to do it right in that very moment, but in that very moment, realize that it's going to get better.
It can
Realize
only
that
get
you
better.
are going to get a lesson from that stepping stone.
I want to add to that, right?
Mhm.
So there's this thing in psychology, it's called rumination, right? So
Mhm.
depending like on how you handle a situation, you could get over it or you can ruminate in it. And the way I understood the definition of rumination is simply a ruined imagination, right? So if I'm sitting
Mm.
here and I'm handling a situation and I'm ruminating on a thing, or if I'm ruminating in my failures, this means I am ruining the possibilities of creating a solution, ruining the possibilities of me finding the light out of the end of this tunnel, finding my peace, finding my joy, whatever I need, my strength, because I'm so fixated on the situation. So I had to learn how to shut off or change the mindset from rumination into illumination, pretty much. All right. So I just wanted to shine
Mm.
light on that.
I think that they used to say tweetables back in the day. That's a tweetable aha moment to go from rumination to illumination.
Ooh, you
I like
losing. That was good.
that.
Yeah.
So how let's keep this going with Triel's wording. How can you illuminate your life instead of ruminating on things? How can you illuminate the situation that you're going through?
I would
How can you
say,
make it better?
I would say,
No, no,
tell
go
the truth.
ahead.
Like, truth is light, light is truth type of deal. So tell the truth about the situation and confront it as soon as possible. Get pride and all of the other things that you may be feeling out of the way and deal with what is the right. So the fact of the matter is this happened. This is how I feel about that situation. Well, why do I feel like why? Like why do I feel this type of way? Because this, that to the third. Point out the obvious, tell the truth, and that's the beginning of lighting up a pathway for you to find a result. That's one I got. What you got?
I don't know. What can I add to that? That was beautiful. What do you guys think? That was beautiful. Um, like I just said, it's a mindset shift. That's what Triel is talking about. Is that this going through life, especially right now in this scenario, in this atmosphere, in this whatever you want to call it, is very difficult, right? There are
Yeah.
going to be, and there always will be, a lot of failures. So we have to be able to illuminate them, and we
Yeah.
have to realize that we're going to come out better on the other side.
I
And
gotta share.
remember,
Oh.
no, go ahead, Trill.
Insert personal story here, right? So I remember I was hosting this women's event, and we were getting to the point where we were all like just like really encouraging one another, just like really watering one another with like good words, gentle words, so on and so forth. And one of the things, she's a QMHP, so like a quality, she's like in the therapy field. And she
Hmm.
was like, your name, she was like, she kept saying Triel, but she was like, Triel's trail mix, like you're a trailblazer. And she was just like, it's like whatever you're going through, you leave a trail behind to help others follow, find their
Mm-hmm.
way out. So it's like your
Mm-hmm.
trail, she was like trails mix or something like that. And that's what I'm thinking about. The sooner we're able to shift our mindset, the better it will become for us to also lead somebody out, because you may be the first person who's going through this, but you're not the only one who will go through it. So you can literally like lead somebody out with like leaving M&Ms or something on a trail, you know? So yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's a great. Oh, yeah, that's great. Look at Trio come with the ahas today. Come on, girl.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Let's
Um,
go.
I want to tell a story because we're in the mode of telling personal stories. And I want to tell the story. I'm going to take it to more of a personal side of things
Okay.
where I was feeling like I was failing my kid, and simply because of how amazing he is. And, but this is going to segue good. This is going to segue well. I just came
Mm,
thought of the story and
mm.
how I want to word it for you guys. Yes. So my son is like neurodivergent, very smart, very gifted, but also very naughty at the same time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I kept trying to find ways to help him. I homeschooled him. I put him in school. I got him tested. Nothing was like, they were like, no, he's a normal kid. There's nothing, 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 nothing. I went to an event. It popped up on my email and said, hey, want to come out to the event? Because I'm always signing up for everything. And they said, we're going to talk about education, how we can change the ecosystem in the education industry. And so I went because that's my big, heart
Yeah.
moment. I went, and this lady sitting at my table, we're chit chatting, and she's like, I have this certificate to get a child evaluated by this prestigious psychologist. And I've never been able to give it to anybody. I've had it for a year and a half, and nobody I meet will be willing to drive the hour distance to get to this psychologist. Hello, I'll take it. I raised my hand so quick. There was only two of us at the table. No point in raising my hand, but I
Yeah.
raised my hand so quick. I needed that. That's what I was looking for, somebody to do this the thorough and proper way. And she was like, I have it for you. This is like literally placed in front of me. So, and that lady is a hub full of resources. She has a nonprofit where she collects resources for education, right? So this turns to my point that I want to make for you guys is that your failure is only because you don't have the resources that you need to make it a success. So my failure in not being able to get my son what he needed was because I didn't have that resource, that certificate, that ability to be able to get him tested, because that test is $1,800 that I need for him to
Mm.
have. I think I was missing that part. $1,800 is what she's giving me in that certificate, that gift card.
Oh.
So that failure that you have is simply a resource, a finding of a resource. Oh, I can't, my house is in foreclosure. Find a grant that's going to help you pay for your house. Sell it to your business and figure out the system that way.
No, I said I hope y'all listening. Like I didn't want to
Oh,
interrupt
I
because
thought
you're
you
in
were
a
saying you couldn't hear
flow.
me. Okay. Yes. If you're not able to be able to pay your car note, like, oh my God, my car note's due. My sister is driving for Walmart right now, making $30 an hour, picking up and delivering groceries using her car. So literally finding resources to the solution that you need. Oh, I need money to start a business. Find a grant, find an endowment, find a fellowship. There, type these words in Google and see what comes up. Find the resources, type it in Chat GPT. Tell Chat GPT I have this problem. My neighbor directly across the street from me came to me and said, she's in her 70s. She said, Janelle, I need my porch redone. I'm an elderly lady. I'm on a fixed income. There has to be something out there. I got on Chat GPT. I typed those exact things into Chat GPT. Hundreds. I printed out at least 20 pages of just the name, phone number, email address, whatever, of the
Wow.
nonprofit
Wow.
programs that can help her to fix up her house because she's on a limited income. So, what problem do you have and you need a solution for? If you need help with for us to help you figure out how to get that solution, book a call with us. The link is going to be in the description. We will help you find a solution. Mind you, our calls are not free. Keep that in mind. But you will get way more out of it than you're going to pay. Trust me. But
Period.
if you don't want us to help you, get on ChatGPT.
And make
Type
sure
it in there.
y'all double check the sources though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
because it can make a little
right,
mistakes, but make sure you double
right,
check with ChatGPT.
right,
Okay? Go ahead,
right.
continue.
But it's on there. The point is that the resources are available for you. The problem that you have, the solution, the failure that you're facing, the success is right around the corner just by providing you with the right resource. We talked about getting a mentor. That is going to go take you from failure to success.
I agree. I agree. Listen, I know we about to transition into our power play, but I just gotta say something that was really, really good. I had to write it down and whatnot. And I was just like, are you willing to drive the hour? You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to
Mm,
drive that hour? There
mm,
are people with resources. They may not be in close proximity and may not be convenient for you. Maybe
mhm,
jumping on a call with us may not be financially convenient, but you know it's what you need to get to the other side. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm,
are you willing to drive the hour? I'm gonna start saying that, like, period. Like, are you willing to go the extra mile
mm.
to get whatever it is that you need so that you can get to your next level, so that you can get to your next place, so that you can get out of stuck, out of overwhelm, out of I don't know. And then I was just like, there are people who have been collecting resources. Let's be honest, when you're dealing with Janelle or myself or anybody in their expertise, hold on one second. Anybody who's dealing with that, I'm sorry, anybody who's dealing with their level of expertise, these are the collector of resources. Those who are willing to get the certification, those who are willing to go to school and get their educations, bachelor's, master's, PhDs, and all that. These are people who have literally collected resources to be able to help you get to your solution that you're looking for. So I would say, are you willing to drive the hour? Are you willing to make the investment to better your life by going to those resources? It may not be a nonprofit organization. It could be your next door neighbor who could print out Chat GPT. It's just like all away. It's always around us, but just be willing to go the extra hour. All right. And then the last thing was knowledge is power. We talked about illumination, rumination to illumination. Sometimes we can ruminate on the fact that we don't have nobody. We may feel like we're on an island by ourselves. We may feel like we don't have a support system here. But even like as we mentioned in our intro within the Black, like this is a community, this is a circle, this is where you can find those resources so that you can be empowered to power whatever it is that you need. Just take the elements that apply to you, take that truth that applies to you so that you can get out of stuck or wherever you are, all right, and come to your path of greatness. Okay, so that's all I wanted to add.
Tria with the mic drop. If I could drop this mic right here, I would drop it for her. I would drop the mic for Trio. That
Let's
was
go.
perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna summarize it in one sentence. You are one step, one choice away from changing your life. That's it. Okay, it's time for the power
The
play.
power play.
So my power play for today is I want you I got my hair done, right? And my hairdresser is a perfectionist. And so that can cause perfectionism, can cause you to limit yourself. So I want you to take the time to define success. Because if you
Mm.
realize that your definition of success is over here, but perfectionism is over here, then really you just need to get to right here and you're successful. So, what does your definition of success look like for you? And how you can do that is you can tie that into your why. The reason that I do my business is because this is why I do my business. And since once this happens, I am successful. The reason I do my business, my why, is so that I can travel the world. I am successful because I travel the world with my kids.
Mm.
It's that simple.
Mm. Let that marinate for a few moments, y'all. Listen to the prompt that she just gave y'all. Write it down and fill in the blank. Period. Continue.
So I just want you to, that's the first thing I want you to do. And then the second thing I want you to do is I want you to pick a failure. This is a very recent thing that you felt like was a failure. And I want you to extract three lessons from that failure. Okay, three things that you learned from that failure. I want you to take that failure and put it in Chat GPT. Please provide me with a solution for this problem and see what Chat GPT comes out with. Then I want you to take those three successes and I want you to write content with them. We're going to actually give you, now I'm going to give you coaching homework. Those three lessons, I want you to tell the story of that failure and give the three lessons that you learned from that failure
Mm.
and write that as a piece of content. You could write it as three separate pieces of content, really, if you want to be honest with you. I could break it down further than that, but we're going to stop there. We're going to stop there. So that's my power play. I'm going to repeat it for you. So I want you to um, define your own success.
Mm-hmm.
Remember your why, and your why is going to translate to your success. Then I want you to pick one recent failure that you've had and pick three lessons that you learned from that failure. Then take that failure and put it in Chat GPT so they can give you a solution to the problem that you have. Take those three lessons and make content out of them and share your story. It's time to be vulnerable.
Mm. I don't have much, honestly speaking. I don't have a power play. That's the power play for today. And remember when she says vulnerable, like vulnerability is not bleeding on the person. So you know what I'm saying? There's a
Yeah.
difference. Can we just
Yeah.
kind of like define that just a little bit? Don't tell all your business. Tell the power from the vulnerability, right? Like we don't need all the
Mm-hmm.
details. We just need the power that comes from it. So when you define them failures and you understand the success, let's highlight the success, right? By sharing a little of the failure or the vulnerable things. We don't need to know again everything. It's like the difference between vulnerability and transparency. Transparency you can see through, vulnerability you can like feel through. All right? So let's feel through it.
Mm, that was good. That
Yeah,
was
I don't know what it's still
good.
coming from.
Yeah, she's on fire today. We might need to do a couple episodes today. Hold
Yes. Okay, so y'all, this was our session here. Y'all already know where we're gonna be back on Wednesday recording these things for you. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, make sure y'all share in the black with those who can benefit from it. All right. Don't keep all of this goodness to yourself. Make sure y'all check out these links where y'all can stay connected with us by visiting in the black business as our website and just really like click them links in the descriptions to get you to where you need to go. And we will see you in our next session. Janelle, you got anything?
on. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. We love you guys. And keep it
Period.
coming. Keep listening. Comment. Let us know what's going on. Have a great day.
All right, y'all.
Bye.